So, this week's episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generation's episode 92 was the last episode of this arc, of the Mitsuki retrieval arc, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it is the last arc. It was titled A New Ordinary. It was a pretty good episode. The art and animation was pretty good. The writing, everything was decent, not the best, because I got a couple problems with this episode. Which I'll be stating during this review. So let's talk about the episode. So episode 92 of Boruto was pretty good. We start the episode with Boruto and all them. So Boruto, Sarada, Shikidai and all them's heading back to the Elite Village. They are riding on this train, going all the way back coming from the Hidden Stone Village all the way to the Elite Village. So yeah, they're leaving the Hidden Stone Village, heading back home and stuff. And they was talking on the train and stuff. Boruto talking about the experience in the Hidden Stone Village and all that. And then we see, Shikidai, Jin talking. Jin was talking about the baby Akuta and stuff. He was still upset, that the baby Akuta got killed and everything from Kokyo a couple episodes back, so yeah, he's still a little bit upset about that. So we leave from that scene, heading back to the Hidden Stone Village, actually. And we see all the Kages, Naruto, Gaara, Dari, the rest of the Kages, all the 5 Kages. They was all there, and yes, the third Tsuchikage, Inoki, passed away. Yeah, he died in last week's episode. Because we couldn't tell if he actually died or he was just knocked out or whatever. Yeah, we couldn't figure out if he was dead or whatever. Because, if I'm not mistaken, the novel that the Boruto anime will be adapting soon, the Shikamaru novel, I know that was like, that's the next thing to be adapted after this arc. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Inoki was actually in the novel, so in that light novel. So yeah, I don't know if he's going, what's going to happen with that. So yeah, Inoki is dead in the Boruto anime. So yeah, they had the funeral with for him and all that. And it was just all the Kages and stuff, and then after while we see all the Kages and stuff. They look back and everything, and they see the rest of the villagers. So yeah, we see all the shinobi and stuff crying in the background. So yeah, and we see Sekiei, and Sekiei was talking about about he promised to be a great shinobi, like Lord Third Tsuchikage. So yeah, that was a pretty cool moment with there. So yeah, while the villagers pretty much crying and everything about Inoki's death. So yeah, we go back to the Hidden Leaf Village and stuff, and Naruto actually made it back pretty quickly to the Leaf Village. He appears and stuff, and and he says, I want to praise Boruto and him for doing this stuff, this thing. But then Shikamaru's like, yeah, I understand that you want to give him praise for all this, but we gotta kind of punish them because they broke the rules. They broke the law about leaving out the village without permission and all that. So, and Naruto's like, yeah, I understand. And then we go back to another scene with Boruto pretty much heading home and stuff. Hinata was worried about him leaving out the village and all that stuff. And then we see another scene with Sarada pretty much headed home as well. Sakura was upset that, yeah, she left the village as well. So, then Boruto and Sarada goes into the Hokage mansion, or, Naruto's office, and Shikamaru's there standing representing Naruto and stuff, and, Boruto and Sarada goes in there, and then Naruto's like, yeah, I mean, you broke the rules, you broke the law, so I gotta punish you for it, So give me your headbands, and yeah, you are stripped of being a genin, in the Hidden Leaf Village. So yeah, that's what Naruto said, and Boruto and Sarada had give up their headbands to him. So yeah, they are not shinobi. Just just a couple minutes in this episode, pretty much. But I'll talk about a little bit about the gaming situation about the headbands at the end of the episode, at the end of this review, because it happens at the end of the episode. So yeah, Boruto and Sarada gives them the headbands and stuff. So yeah, they are stripped of being a genin in the Hidden Leaf Village. Then we see Mitsuki was actually getting pretty much we see Konohamaru's side, pretty much talking to Mitsuki, laying down the rules, like, they're kind of like the cops, and Mitsuki's like the criminal, They got him in this room and stuff, talking to him about, the situation, why he left the village, all that stuff. And Mitsuki was like, yeah, it was, I had a plan to go there because of, to figure out what they was doing, Roku and all of them. To figure out what they was all trying to do and all that stuff. And Mitsuki was telling him everything, every detail and all that stuff. And then we cut to a scene where Boruto's asleep and stuff, and then all of a sudden, here's the problem I got with this episode. Mainly this problem. So Boruto's asleep, and then all of a sudden he appears in this, this thing inside of him, like how Naruto appeared when he talked to the Nine-Tailed Fox and Kuroma. So how it was kind of understandable because Kuroma was inside of Naruto. He was locked inside of Naruto. But Garuga appears in the same situation with that the Nine-Tailed Fox appears. Garuga's like inside of Boruto. Now, summonings ain't supposed to be inside of you. They're supposed to go back home where they came from, because we know about this because of, Gimbuta and all of them, pretty much went back home after the summoning was over. They go back home where they came from. And you'd be expecting, well, why in Garuga at home instead of being inside Boruto? Because summonings ain't supposed to be inside of you now. Pretty much, that's only the Tail Beast that's supposed to be inside of you, not the summonings alone. And Garuga's not a Tail Beast, but it's whatever, he's talking to Boruto and stuff inside of him. Talking about the contract's over now. He said he's leaving. He said the contract's over now. What you be thinking? You're like, damn, the contract's over, because this storyline pretty much in the Boruto universe, I think, was less than a week, probably a week at least at the most. They wasn't gone for so long. They was only gone for like a week, I think, at the most. But yeah, Garuga's like, yeah, the contract's now over, so I'm leaving you, kid. And Boruto's like, yeah, whatever, that's fine. Garuga leaves, and Boruto's like, hopefully I do see him one day. They had a little argument before Garuga left, then he left, and then Boruto's like, well, I hope I do see Garuga one day. But yeah. So yeah, Garuga leaves and the contract's now over. So yeah, Boruto is now don't have a summoning anymore. So yeah, Garuga is gone from the Boruto universe now. So yeah, Garuga's now gone. So yeah, that was the only problem I had. I don't got a problem with Garuga becoming a summoning, and because with Gimabuta and Naruto and stuff, they had a contract, and they had a contract. So once that contract expires, I think, because this is the first time I think we ever seen that the contract expired. The contract expiring between the person that summons and the summoning and stuff. So yeah, between that. So yeah, this is the first ever time we ever seen the contract expires, but I thought the contract would go longer than a week. So yeah. But the problem I had was like Garuga being inside of Boruto instead of being at home or getting summoned there because they could actually summon them because I think we seen Kimabuta at one point summon Naruto, you know, everywhere the frogs live at, you know, all them. So yeah, we actually see Naruto get summoned there to talk to them. So you'd be expecting, well, I guess you can get Garuga to summon Boruto because you can't throw up a freaking hand sign and summon him. But still, you be thinking, yeah, why ain't you get summoned like, you know, where Garuga's at or whatever, instead of appearing inside of Boruto, which is weird, but whatever. That's pretty much the only problem I had with this episode. So we cut to a scene with Mitsuki and stuff. He's on top of a mountain, and Boruto and Sarada was worried about him because Sarada did woke up Boruto after that and said, "Hey, Mitsuki ain't there at the facility or wherever he was at, you know, after he was getting interrogated." So they was looking for Mitsuki. Hopefully they didn't left the village or anything like that. And Boruto and Sarada finds him, and Boruto, we see Mitsuki pretty much making a little grave for Seiki and all them, Kokyo, all them. Talking about Seiki, I hope you are over with your friends and all stuff. So yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. Pretty good character development with Mitsuki right there. Boruto finds him, and Sarada finds him as well, and goes like, yeah, Team 7 is now reunited. So yeah. Team 7 is now back together and all that stuff. It was a pretty cool moment. And then we go to a scene where everybody else is talking about Inoki. Boruto and them is walking, and the news is like reporting it. Yeah, Inoki passed away due to his illness. So yeah, he was ill and all that stuff, and he passed away due to that. So yeah, Inoki's. If you didn't call around that Inoki died in the beginning of the episode, they stated 2 times, yeah, Inoki's officially dead, you know. He is not coming back or anything like that because, people like to throw around speculations. Oh, they claim that he's dead, but he probably ain't dead, you know. But yeah, he's dead, you know. They had a funeral for him, and not only that, they actually stated, yeah, the cause of death and stuff. So yeah, Inoki is dead. So yeah, and then we see Mitsuki and Sarada and Boruto on the mountain cliff pretty much, and yeah, they looking up and stuff, and the episode ends. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention at one point, they actually did get their headbands back. We see the 4th Tsuchikage, Kurosuchi, go in to the office, apologizing to Naruto about the situation and all that, and thanking him. She wants to thank Boruto and them in person, and Shikamaru's like, this ain't a good time, you know. Shikamaru's like being a little bit of an asshole, but you can kind of understand, I guess. But yeah. And then Naruto pretty much just cited in a scene that we didn't even see at all, pretty much just like, hey, yeah, Boruto and Sarada's Guineas again. So yeah, they got back the headbands without us actually seeing Naruto giving them back or whatever. So yeah, instantly got headbands and throw it back on. So yeah, they're back as a team. Oh, and I've seen people pretty much having a problem on Twitter or whatever. I've seen a couple of tweets. Come on, well, why did Boruto and Sarada get punished, but Shikadai and Inojin and, Chocho didn't get punished? Well, as you know, Boruto and Sarada actually left out of the village, on their own. They didn't get permission, hey, you could go leave the village or anything like that. Nah, that didn't happen. So yeah, they left the village without getting permission to leave the village. And as you know, Shikadai and Chocho and Inojin had permission because originally Moegi was with them, and Shikadai and all them was supposed to go find Boruto and Sarada and bring them back to the village. But no, that was not the case, and then Shikadai and Chocho and Inojin left with Boruto and Sarada instead and went to go rescue Mitsuki. So yeah, that's the reason pretty much. So yeah, Shikadai and Chocho and Inojin actually had permission from the start not to go on this mission to go find Mitsuki and stuff, but they actually had permission to leave the village. So yeah, they actually did have permission to leave the village. That's why Shikadai and all them was not punished for that reason. So yeah, but yeah, pretty good, decent episode, I would say. Still, the Garga situation appearing inside of him, contract for like not even a week probably. And that was pretty much the problem I had with this episode, and how they instantly, quickly got the hairbands back that we didn't even see. So yeah, it was pretty funny as well. But yeah, that's pretty much the only problems I have with this episode. But the animation stuff was pretty good. The storytelling was decent, like I said. Pretty good character development with Inogen in the beginning of this episode, and Mitsuki as well, and stuff like that. This episode I'll give a 7 out of 10 stars, probably 7.5 out of 10 stars is what I'll give it. Not the best. But yeah, this arc is now officially over. It's great that this arc is finally over, because this arc was way too long. There was like pointless points in this arc. This arc dragged on a little bit. I was kind of waiting for this arc to finally finish. You're talking about like, I think, like around almost 30 episodes or something like that. So yeah, it's a pretty long arc, I think this arc started around episode 68, if I'm not mistaken. 67, I think. Yeah, this arc started on episode 67, and this arc is finally ending at episode 92. So yeah, pretty much almost 30 episodes with the Mitsuki retrieval arc. So yeah, it's finally over. Now, next week's episode, we've seen the episode preview for next week's episodes. Pretty much we're going to see more of Himawari and Naruto. So yeah, I don't know if Boruto's going to be next week's episode. Probably will. We don't know, but it's more based on Naruto and Himawari, pretty much parent and child day. So yeah, they're going to be hanging out. So yeah, we're going to see pretty much hopefully character development with Himawari and Naruto next week's episode. So yeah, that'll probably be, it's like a little slice of life episode. So yeah, that'll be happening next week's episode. Now, like I said, the Shikamaru novel will now be adapted in the anime. So yeah, pretty much all the novels that happens and stuff are usually adapted in the anime after the little filler arcs and all that stuff. Yeah, the Shikamaru novel will be officially adapted in the anime starting next week. So yeah, next week should be, I think, the start of it. So yeah, pretty good, decent episode. Like I said, 7.5 out of 10 stars is what I'll give it. Like I said. But yeah, that's everything I got to say about the arc and this episode and everything else. So yeah, like, subscribe to CNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to this channel, World of Chris 1-800, subscribe to my other channel, Chris Fidelis. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. Yeah, I'll be down there in the description box. So yeah, go follow all my social media accounts. I'll be down there in the description box. Like this video and comment on this video. What do you guys think about this week's episode, Boruto? And not only that, what do you think about the whole entire arc as a whole? So yeah, what do you guys think about it? In my opinion, it was a little bit too long and kind of got boring at some points and dragged on a little bit. So yeah, but pretty decent ending with the funeral and Noki and stuff. It was all decent at least. But yeah, pretty much those are the only little problems I have with this arc. Yeah, it dragged on a little bit too long. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts about the arc in this episode? Just lay it down in the comment section. But yeah, like I said, now the Boruto manga, I will be reviewing the manga. I actually uploaded chapter 31 of the manga, so yeah, if you haven't yet, go check it out. So yeah, go check it out, and chapter 32 will be coming out next month, and I'll be reviewing that as well. And look out for the review of the anime next week as well, episode 93. So yeah, I'll see you guys later from that one. But yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, comment on this video about what you guys think about this week's episode, Boruto. In my opinion, like I said, is pretty decent. But yeah, I will see you guys later in some next week's episode review.